What up to my peoples and welcome to Retro Crunch. Norman Lear, he did it again. We have season 3 of Live in front of a studio audience. And it's pretty good. We've got the Facts of Life and Different Strokes. What a cool way to take us back to the 1980s with a fresh remake of 2 classic episodes. I hope you guys are ready because we're going to do a review of those 2 episodes right now. Oh, but if you haven't seen seasons 1 and 2 with All in the Family, The Jeffersons, and Good Times, you can check out the reviews I did right there. All right, so where to start off with these 2 episodes? First off, Facts of Life. So this episode, which was titled Kids Can Be Cruel. It was from their 3rd season in 1982. And Different Strokes, that episode is titled Willis's Privacy, and that one's from 1979 if you want to go back and try to find those episodes to watch them. I was pretty pleased with the actors that they chose for both of these shows. For Facts of Life, we had Allison Tolman, who was playing the role of Natalie. Katherine Hahn was Joe. Joe was pretty funny in this. Gabrielle Union played Tootie. Ann Dowd played Mrs. Garrett. And Jennifer Aniston was playing Blair.
Have you ever even looked in a mirror?
Now, Dink, you wouldn't want to be known as a sore loser, would you?
Listen, Mrs. Garrett, Blair's gonna be the loser if she has to have dinner with the Rocky Horror Metal Show here.
For me, Ann Dowd, who was in both Facts of Life and Different Strokes for these 2 shows, she was amazing. I really loved her version of Mrs. Garrett. It was a little different and quirky, but it was good. She felt like the glue that kind of really held these episodes together and kind of kept them moving along. Gabrielle Union was really great in the part that she did. Probably the only problem that I had with this episode was that Tootie didn't get as much role or screen time that I really would have liked to see. I thought Gabrielle really had a lot more to give. She was really good in the role, but we didn't get to see enough of her. Now, Katherine Hahn. So she seemed a tad over the top in her version of Joe. She did sell me on it, but and I thought it was pretty good. But I just think that it could have been better, and I think she overacted a little bit. Allison Tolman's version of Natalie. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I kind of felt the same that I felt about Joe. I thought there were some areas where I thought she did really great, but then I thought that there was a lot more times when I kind of felt disconnected.
Oh, no, that's okay, Mrs. Garrett. A deadhead is someone who is a fan of the Grateful Dead.
Blair, I didn't know you knew about the Grateful Dead.
Well, sure. Beautiful people like rock and roll, too.
Then Jennifer Aniston. All right, so as far as acting goes, I think Jennifer Aniston is a good actor. She was great on Friends. She's been good in the movies that she's been in. But as far as playing Blair, oh man, I just think that she kind of fell flat. From her hair to missing her mark on stage to her emotion and her inflections, she was kind of all over the place, and she was probably my least favorite on the remake. Will Arnett and Jason Bateman, they were really fun, and honestly, I think that Bateman actually really killed his role. I thought that he was great. But Will Arnett, I liked him, but I kind of felt that he didn't take this serious enough, and I was a little disappointed in that. I saw a lot of mistakes. Him looking in other directions, looking for cues. He was even messing up some of the other actors when he was losing focus and losing character. I really felt like he thought that he was on Saturday Night Live or something. Jon Stewart, though, here's the redemption. I loved his role, what he did with the character Carl. One thing of note, though, he actually, in the original, he did not have a mouth guard. He actually had acne all over his face, and that was the reason that Blair, and all of them made fun of him. At the beginning of the episode in Facts of Life, I really wasn't feeling it, but near the end of, I think it was the 2nd act and pretty much the rest of the episode, it really did start to pick up, and I thought that the acting got better. It flowed better. I was really starting to kind of get that feeling of what it was like watching this back in 1982. The nostalgia was starting to flow then. I do think it would have been nice if Nancy McKeon would have been able to be on the show. I would have liked to have seen all 4 of the Facts of Life kids there. Now, I heard that the reason that she wasn't there was because she was in the middle of a move with her family. Then Different Strokes. I had really high expectations on this one because this was my go-to show when I was really little. I could not get enough of Gary Coleman's character Arnold. Kevin Hart played Arnold in this episode. Damon Wayans was Willis. John Lithgow, he played Mr. Drummond. And Ann Dowd knocked it out of the park as Mrs. Garrett again. And I actually watched the original 1979 version of this episode about a week before because I was pretty sure that this was the episode that they were going to do. John Lithgow, he played Mr. Drummond, and he was solid. I do feel like it was a really tough role. I couldn't think of anyone offhand that probably could have done it any better, so I was kind of happy with his performance. Now, we did get a surprise visit from Snoop Dogg, who played Vernon. For the comedy alone of it, I was actually kind of surprised when he walked through the door. For him, though, I really wasn't feeling it. There's so many other people that I probably would have chose. He didn't really seem vested in the character. He read his lines. He was kind of on his mark. Not really, but he was there in body and mind. I think he was there in mind. I don't know. He might have been high. But there were some really great things about this episode, too. So the casting of Hart and Wayans, that was brilliant. I cannot go on enough about those two.
So long, wood monster. I'm about to turn you into a toothpick with my Zowie Zap gun. Zap, 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 zap.
Kevin, he was excellent. I thought he was really fun. I thought he really embraced this character. He even had some ad-libbing. For the most part, I thought he did great. Him in that Arnold costume, whooshing around all over the place. I actually think that Gary Coleman possessed him for a little bit. But there were a couple things that I probably would have done different, especially that weed line at the end, and he kind of flubbed it up.
Hey, Vern. Hey, Willis.
Uh-huh.
How come Vernon always smell like weed?
We did get to hear this line, though.
Willis, I told you, this is my room, too.
See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts.
What you talking about, Willis?
And the part where Kevin Hart sat in John Lithgow's lap, I could not stop laughing. It looked like a kid sitting in Santa's lap. It was so funny. Best casting for me, though, for the whole show, Damon Wayans. I really thought that Hart as Arnold was going to be overshadowing Damon Wayans' performance as Willis, but no. I absolutely loved what Damon did with Willis's character. He just seemed really controlled the whole episode. He held back. He didn't overact. He hit his lines really well. I really loved his performance. I thought he was spot on. I know that Todd Bridges was probably very impressed with his performance. For each episode, the theme songs were sang live right there in the production set. I really enjoyed Lisa Welchel sing the Facts of Life song with Kim Fields and Mindy Cohen joining her after the show ended. Also, Boyz II Men, they sang the theme song for Diffrent Strokes, which was pretty good. I thought that both of them could have been better, and what really bothered me the most was the background music. I thought that it kind of overtook them. You could hardly hear them singing the words on each of those episode intros, so I thought that was a little bothering. There were so many little details that were just like the original show, and I thought the set creators did an amazing job. In all, I liked both shows, although I think I liked Facts of Life a little bit more. For me, my expectations for Diffrent Strokes was really, really high, and I think it kind of let me down just a little bit. I still felt like there was something that was missing, and it just didn't really connect with me as much as I hoped it would. But those are my thoughts on these two episodes. If you've seen them, let me know what you thought about them. Were you happy with the casting? Did you enjoy the episodes? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And in case you want to watch live in front of a studio audience and you haven't seen it yet, you can actually watch it over on Hulu, or you can watch it on abc.com if you have that in your cable package. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I will catch you guys on the flip side, and remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.